I am not Jeff, uh, sadly, but Jeff is on retreat. So here we are. From what I understand, you guys are doing right now the four characteristics of karma, and we've covered the first two. So we have the second two that we will be covering today. Right. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll start by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. We think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure that we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning, but we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And then begin to let go of attending to the environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation, constraining your awareness just to the body and mind. Beginning to concentrate that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. Then when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad and altruistic motivation for our time, wanting to use this time to establish and to deepen beneficial ways of thinking and acting, cultivating states of mind that bring about a sense of peace and ease for oneself and support actions that are beneficial for others, wanting to reduce and ultimately eliminate the influence of states of mind that are not beneficial, not constructive, those that agitate and disturb one's own mind when they arise, and those that often motivate actions that cause harm to others. Wanting to engage in that process of genuine inner transformation in order to be of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings over time. And then with that motivation, we will contemplate what's actually the second and third characteristic of karma. Only the first characteristic was covered last week. So it's actually the second and the third characteristic. So the second characteristic of karma is that it expands over time. And like all of these characteristics, these are general characteristics, so they apply equally to constructive karma and destructive karma. And this refers to this concept of expandability, refers to the seeming disconnect between the initial act and the experienced result. So many analogies that are used to explain this point. Often the idea of like an oak, an acorn, which grows into a mighty tree over time is one way of thinking about it. The idea that we start with something quite small and then by the time the fruitional result arrives, the result can be something that seems much larger. This understanding gives rise to several implications for our practice. With respect to negative actions, it becomes important to become conscientious of even small negativities. It becomes important to think about purification because it is still true that purification practice can interrupt that process. It is only a karma that is not purified in terms of a negative karma, where that much larger result can still occur. When we think about that aspect of the implication of this characteristic, try to think about in your own life what triggers do you have? What are the habit patterns that seem like again and again are more difficult and can lead to unskillful action? And see if you can uncover what habit patterns are most relevant in your own life. And try to be resolved to bring about that conscientiousness, to guard body, speech, and mind, even with what seem like small negativities. And when negativities arise, to purify them through regret, reliance, remedy, and resolve with the opponent powers. And equally, it's important to think about our virtues and rejoice in the virtues that we have created, recognizing that they will bring about strongly powerful results in the future. It's also important to take every opportunity to engage in even small virtues, taking advantage in a positive way of this characteristic of karma. So engage in that process of recollecting your virtues and rejoicing in them, and also being resolved to find opportunities to engage in virtue. The third characteristic of karma is that we cannot experience a result unless we have created that cause. So this characteristic puts oneself in the driver's seat of one's future, and also brings about a sense of taking responsibility for one's present. And so we may have a tendency of externalizing our happiness and our suffering, thinking that it's causes random, that sometimes things that make us happy happen to us, and other times things that make us suffer happen to us. These experiences are rooted in past action, both the happiness and the suffering. These external supportive causes and conditions are merely activating the karmic potential in the mind, and are not the main cause. With respect to sufferings, difficulties, we don't have to feel in a heavy way that we are at fault, having created an unskillful action in the past, but we are responsible for how we react. And we have the capacity now to choose virtuous action and to abstain from non-virtuous action, to prevent future suffering, to obtain future happiness. So think along these lines and try to adopt an attitude of really taking responsibility, rejecting the idea that it's all random, it's all outside of our control. And put yourself in the driver's seat of your own life. And think that I will, to the best of my ability, practice virtue and abandon non-virtue. And try to cultivate that determination and rest your mind in it single-pointedly. And when you're ready, we'll come back together. Dedicate to recollect your altruistic motivation. You think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind. You think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings, without exception. And when that positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of holiness. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. May I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Yeah.